Written by Bowie, Iggy Pop and Carlos Alomar shortly after the cessation of the Station to Station recordings, Sister Midnight is the perfect bridge between that album and what followed. Performed first by Bowie in the 1976 White Light Tour, it was then picked by Iggy, who furnished it with some new lyrics and recorded it for his next album, The Idiot, which Bowie produced. Bowie himself never recorded it, but he did perform it again in later dates, and it is an essential part of his catalogue. The hook that holds it all together is another great guitar riff created by Alomar. In Bowie's version, it is popped out on a bass to an incredibly funky effect, which sits in well with the cool funkiness of the Thin White Duke, but its repetitiveness takes him one step closer to soulless mechanism. The searing guitar solo by Stacey Hayden injects some variety, but it is still no match for the power of the riff. Amazingly, Iggy's version is even better. The opening track of The Idiot, it sets up the chilling state of mind that will be developed throughout the album. A lot of it has to do with Bowie's production, and it feels like he is using Iggy to express his own personal crisis. The riff is played by the rhythm guitar, and is completely cyclical, while the addition of synthesizers and electronic bleeps make it all sound like an electric circuit. Iggy sings in a low, blood-curdling, mechanized voice that makes him sound like a robot, and Bowie's falsetto backing makes him sound like a psycho robot.
Calling Sister Midnight, you got me reaching for the moon. Calling Sister Midnight, you got me playing a fool. Calling Sister Midnight, calling Sister Midnight. Can you hear me call? Can you hear me well? Can you hear me at all?
These are Bowie's lyrics. Once again, like all tracks on Station to Station, he is calling for someone. It is a woman he calls Sister Midnight, and the chorus takes us back to Can You Hear Me, the first time we heard Bowie claiming that he needs a long-term companion in his life. She seems to be getting further and further away from him, though. In Can You Hear Me he was talking to an actual spouse and asking her to believe in the relationship, and so it was in Golden Years, too. But Stay is already from the point of view of a single man who can't muster the courage to ask the woman to have a serious relationship, and in Sister Midnight, it seems he can't even reach that woman. She is a fantasy, a dream woman, and he hopes he can reach her, but knows it's as hard as reaching the moon.
Calling Sister Midnight, well, I'm an idiot for you. Calling Sister Midnight, I'm a breakage inside. Calling Sister Midnight.
Iggy begins to add his own lyrics. This fantasy woman prevents him from facing up to actual existence, and turns him into what he calls the fool in the first verse, and an idiot in the second. His life is meaningless without her, and he feels the breakage of his soul. This feeling of inner emptiness, that can be saved only by some wild fantasy, will be the main theme of the album, and its title is duly taken from this verse. It's hard to hear this record and not think of the Rolling Stones' Marianne Faithfull composition, Sister Morphine. Hearing it this way, Sister Midnight would be a euphemism for hard drugs. It is the total neediness of the addict that makes him play the fool.
Calling Sister Midnight, you know I had a dream last night.
verse is based on an actual nightmare Iggy had in his drug haze of 1975. As with Bowie's TVC-15, his dream inspired a song, but while the latter was a modern technological nightmare, this nightmare is the most primordial of them all, and takes him into Oedipal territories. Sister Midnight is the only one who can save him from these nightmares, and that is why he needs her so bad.
Listen to me, Sister Midnight. You got me walking in rags. Listen to me, Sister Midnight. You put a beggar in my heart. Hey, where are you, Sister Midnight? Can you hear me call? Can you hear me wail? Can you hear me?
As the track progresses, the guitars sound ever more screechy, as if the circuits are melting and the robot is malfunctioning in front of our ears. The final verse completes his fall into a state of total dependence and despair. After he dives into the Oedipal goo of his dreams, the Iggy robot does find some emotions, but they sound more animalistic than human, and the record ends with some primal screaming. The fear of losing your humanity and being taken over by technology, a fear that we saw in Bowie numbers like Chant of the Ever-Circling Skeletal Family and TVC-15, finally becomes reality. The cyclical nature of life from station to station, the numbness caused by drug addiction, and the inner emptiness resulting from loss of meaning in his existence have turned him into a machine.